Hi, I'm Mikka Sturdivant. I have worked at Youth for Tomorrow since 2004.
We'll talk about your journey to Youth for Tomorrow, but let's kick it off by asking, what is special about Youth for Tomorrow?
Youth for Tomorrow is a place that really dedicates their mission, their time, their countless hours and efforts to children who are in need of services. It is a safe haven for a lot of our children because they've went through a lot of traumatic experiences. And those traumatic experiences were in some not so safe places.
Give me a good day at Youth for Tomorrow for you, and then we'll get down to what you do here.
A good day is seeing the kids when they transition classes and seeing them being kids. A lot of our kids, they have been forced to grow up before their time. And they've never really had a childhood. So to hear them laugh and have a good time and socialize, even though it's just for a few minutes, it's great to see that, because then it lets you know that what we're doing is working.
As we discussed prior to starting the interview, you're a native of the state of Alabama.
I am.
Moved to Virginia, and tell us what brought you to Youth for Tomorrow originally.
So I was living in Lynchburg, and I was looking for a different job opportunity. And back then it was dial-up. AOL was popular.
Yeah.
I found Youth for Tomorrow. It was like a little blurb. And so I called Mary Sweet, who was the director of human resources at that time, and we talked for about 2 hours on the phone. And she basically hired me over the phone.
Wow.
And so,
For what
job? For a residential counselor.
Okay. And that was your training?
Right. I was currently working for the Community Service Board in Lynchburg, and I was working with the ID population. So I was looking for a turn, and she was like, I think you would be perfect for our residential counselor. So thus here I am.
When you got here many years ago, what were your first impressions, and did you kind of figure that you'd be here as long as you have in hindsight?
So when I first got here, I was in awe because I hadn't really been to this area. And so the campus was like it is now, manicured lawns, very nice houses. Everybody was so friendly when I came in. And it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I said, this is going to be a really nice place to work. And and back then we had different people that are no longer here. They've retired or whatever. But I didn't think I would be here this long. I was hoping I would be, but things change. I'm not the type of person that likes to job hop. I like to, I've had good role models with my parents that, you want to stay. Longevity means something. And if you really enjoy doing it, then why leave?
Right. And your service to these children has been noted on several occasions with some of the alums that we have talked to. When you hear them refer to you in such a loving way, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel good. Because at that time, of course, you can tell kids, oh, you need to do this or you need to do that. As long as you plant that seed and you water it a little bit, they may not get it right then and there, but later they will realize that, oh, you know what? They refer to me as S. So they'll say, oh, you know what? Now I understand what S was talking about. Now I understand why she was hard on me in this particular area, because she was trying to prepare me to be successful. And so it makes me feel really good. I do keep in contact with the kids, and I like to see where they have came from and where they're at now.
A lot of people in their jobs don't have the opportunity to have special relationships with people they work with and work for. And I would think you got to be grateful that this has turned out this way for you.
It is. I'm very grateful. It's very fulfilling. It's one of those to where some people may just come to work to work. I come to work because I love my job. I love the environment. I love working with the kids. I love seeing them transition, because a lot of times people count our children out.
Right.
They think that because of past mistakes that it's going to continue and they're not going to change, but that's not true. We all make mistakes. It's a new chapter, and that's what I tell the kids. Every day is a new day. Whatever happened yesterday, leave it in yesterday. Whatever happened prior to you coming to Youth for Tomorrow, let's close that chapter. Let's create a new chapter.
In the business that you're in and helping people, I would think you look around this campus since the day you arrived and seen the increase in the different types of services.
I have.
And what do you think of that?
I think it's wonderful. I think when a place can truly grow and continue to keep their mission and not lose sight of it, it's very fulfilling. It's one of those to where you're like, oh my goodness, we've come a long way. Because when I first came here, it was only where they call it the Courage House now because it's named after the Redskins, but it was the annex. And then the Keller House, Mr. and Mrs. Hotchkiss were living in that house. And then down in the circle, it was only the Tammy House and the Chelsea House. That was it. And then the school, and then also the Hazel House. So we've really grown. The growth is there, and you can see it. So it's very. I like seeing that we've grown a lot.
Which members of the YFT team have helped you along the way to get to where you've come? Because you've done an outstanding job, but I know you can't do that alone here.
You know what? I'm going to say everybody. But in particular, Dr. Jones has really helped. He has pushed me and has asked for things. And so I'm like, okay, I can do this. And my job evolves on a routine basis. I'm always doing different stuff. Miss Coates has helped a lot as well, just looking back over the years. Just to process and bounce things off of her. She's a very important woman. I don't know if a lot of people realize that because almost all the staff talk to her. Yeah. And then, let's see, Sally Hotchkiss. She's not here anymore. But she definitely has helped back in the day, really, push me and get me where I needed to be. And Carl Street as well. A lot of people don't know. I used to work for Carl before Carl left. And then when he came back and I saw him, I said, hey, Carl. And he was like, you're still here? And I was like, absolutely. And it was good to see him because I used to work for him. Yeah. But as far as in now, I think everybody, because the staff is great. We're all a team. And it takes everybody to do our job. So I would say everybody at this time.
Last question, maybe the most important one. How have you seen the kids change, if they have, and how have the problems changed, if they have? How has your job changed in the time you've been here? Because the world has changed for sure.
The milieu has definitely changed for us. About 17 years ago, we got a lot of children who were placed through DSS because of a bad home life or, or abuse or neglect and things like that. Now we see more children that have had some, small hiccups with the justice systems. We see a lot more trauma now as far as in self-harm and things of that nature. I think just the world in general, because it's so unrest right now. You've got a lot of different things going on. You've got this pandemic. The kids don't really understand. They're scared. They may not admit it, but they are. I've held several different positions here at Youth for Tomorrow. So my job has really evolved. I started off as a residential counselor, and then I worked myself up to a lead weekend supervisor. Then I was the assistant director of residential services, and then I was UIM intake coordinator when we first started the UIM program. And then I went to behavioral health, and I became the intake coordinator there. And then I evolved into being the quality assurance coordinator for behavioral health services, which included all of outpatient, TDT, intensive, and home.
Wow.
And,
you've had some jobs here.
Right, and then I was promoted to the director of quality assurance. So I'm responsible for about 1,300 files and overseeing some of the QA coordinators here on campus.
Well, you got your hands full. One more question,
sure,
if I may. The spiritual nature of Youth for Tomorrow is evident to anyone who is on campus or is a resident or is a staff member. How important is that?
It's very important because without God, things will tumble. And you have to have God. Now again, everybody may practice different religions, and that's their right. But for us here at Youth for Tomorrow, we know we believe in Jesus Christ. We believe in God. And I've seen a lot of children give their lives to Christ. And you see that turn. And a lot of times we may think, especially for some of us that are a little older, that everybody has grown up going to church. Everybody has had that, auntie, grandma, somebody, saying, hey, get up, let's go to church. Hey, let's go to Sunday school. But a lot of our children have not had that. So this is a new experience for them. And then when they accept Jesus Christ, and then they start seeing that shift in their life, and then God takes a hold of it. And just like we do, he plants that seed. And he will bring you to him. It may not be, when you want it, but he will. And I see that here. And I've seen over the years a lot of children, they embrace Christ. They really, get to the meat of it, and they want to be educated and have the knowledge that they need so that, it plays an important part of their lives.